Greetings, health, and happiness to you. I'm Skol, and today we're going to look at the Kershaw Link. And you might have seen the Link years ago, but back then it was a budget knife offering in the $50 price range with a budget steel. But as the years have gone on, we saw it upgraded to 20 CV, which is equivalent to the high-end M390. So they went up to a high-end steel, but now it's in super steel Magnacut. So look here. We got Magnacut right there. You can read it. Made in the USA, Kershaw Link Magnacut. And this has been flying under the radar, I think. Quietly upgraded the steel with not a lot of fanfare. I haven't seen it discussed. And is this the new value king for dollar best value American-made Magnacut? We're going to talk about that at the end. First, we'll do the tabletop review on the Kershaw Link. So what do we got here? We got aluminum scales with some patterns milled in. We've got a backspacer. We've got a reversible pocket clip. And those screws they haven't improved that, domed. So it'd be nice if they put flush screws. But it looks to me like there's enough space in there for your pants. I don't use pocket clips myself. As I mentioned, the only two uses I have for pocket clips are sometimes I find my fingers bracing on the pocket clip like that, especially on a side opening auto. That helps natural brace. And then the other thing I use pocket clips for is a money clip, or a loose money or a credit card. If I don't not carry my wallet, I'll take that loose cash and I'll stick it right in the pocket clip. Actually, I have $1 here. It's a money clip for me. So there you go. What else we got? We got Magnacut steel. We got a swedge. We've got a long curve, like the entire length. So it's all belly. It continues the curve all the way. And we've got a liner lock. This is spring assisted. So when you close it, you're going to feel the pressure of reloading the spring. And then you got a flipper tab for opening. So this is a flipper assisted aluminum, but you also have the steel liners. So it's aluminum with steel liners and long backspacer with several hardware attachments. So this is going to be sturdy and strong, and those are all the features. You also got a lanyard loop hole. Let's look at the details. We got Kershaw, and then we saw it said Magnacut, and you got the USA flag, made in the USA. We got the model number, and KAI, that's the parent company. USA says Magnacut, and then this little white symbol here, which is usually on the blade, but here it's on the handle. That means in-house design at Kershaw. So that's what that symbol means when you see it on a Kershaw knife. So what about specs? So we got, now this is funny the way this is, because usually you measure the handle from the top of the handle to the tip, and we're getting 3 1/4. But as you can see, that it sweeps back beyond that tip, so you actually have a longer cutting edge than you technically do have blades. So you have about 3 1/3 inches, you can see there, for cutting edge. So all cutting edge, and then your overall handle length is 4 1/4. But if you go down to like what do you actually put your fingers on, you got 3 1/2, and then your overall length from tip to heel is 7 1/2. So there's the length measurements. Next we'll do the weight. And we're coming in at 4.7 ounces. That's on the higher side. So kind of the sweet spot is 3 to 4. If you're under 3, you're light. And light is usually better for EDC. You like to have lightweight in your pants and let's re-tear this. Let's also get the stock thickness. Let's finish up the specs. And back here at the thicker point before you get to the swedge, 0.11 even, 0.110. So that is what it was listed at, 0.110. And then as you can see, this one keeps, you can follow the flat of the blade out to here. It keeps its 0.110 out mid-blade, so that's nice. And then you got a swedge, and you got a long bevel with a long belly. Sweet. So I think that's it for details on the Kershaw Link. What about ergonomics? I wear large size gloves, and as you can see, I can get all my fingers on there with a little bit of leftover room. It feels very nice. Whenever you have a cant, that always fits nicely into the natural curve of your heel, the heel of your palm. So very nice. And then there is no jimping, but there is a thumb scallop right there. You can see there's a little curve. So when you hold it there, and where your thumb falls right there. Now, one thing I heard on another channel, I'm pretty sure it was Outdoor 55. I like that guy. He really goes in deep on his points. I like that. He said he doesn't like choil choke-ups. He says, I think it was him that said, use the handle for what it's made for, to be the handle. So here you don't have any choke-up choils or jimping up here. But what it does have is a natural fall for your thumb to lock into that scallop. And it's funny, the jimping stops just before that scallop, because normally you'd want the jimping where your thumb lands. So it's funny that they stop the jimping right there where your thumb lands. However, that little scallop that you fall in, that kind of locks you in and feels really nice. Nice, secure, full grip, very locked into that little scallop, locks your thumb in, almost sort of like the same as some knives have a ramp. So you got a little thumb scallop instead. That's very nice. And then you could go out here with your finger, I guess, for a utility cut. And then with this downward cant, that always helps you get down onto the table. And with that curve, you can find the angle you need for cutting on a flat table. So very good utilitarian blade. Now what about the topic of Magnacut? Is this the best value? And has it flown under the radar to take the crown? Has it hold the phone, back up the truck? Is this the king? Is this the highest, best value? So let's compare it to the reigning king. If you saw my recent review of the Kershaw Bel Air XL version, so we were comparing it to the regular Bel Air version that's also Magnacut, made in the USA. What was it worth it? $10 or $15 more for the XL compared to the regular Bel Air, and was that worth it value-wise? And what we determined in that video was the stock thickness. This as we measured it, 0.125 inches for stock thickness and greater length. We determined that it was better value, dollar for dollar, than the original, because the original Bel Air was 0.09 inches, so you're getting quite a bit thicker stock at 0.125, and you're getting additional length. So we decided that was worth the extra $10 to $15 to say it was the best value blade, and the size improvement, ergonomically right-sized for a lot more hands. Even though this is called the XL, it's actually in the sweet spot. A very good top-tier design. Very popular, and that was designed by Andrew Keel. This probably has the marking. He's one of their top designers, but everybody knows that it's him. Andrew Keel was the designer of the Bel Air. So here, Magnacut, USA flag. So this is a highly recommended and highly recognized as top value Magnacut USA made. But what we're arguing here is, what about this one? This is $165, this is $135, normal, regular price. uh, $30 cheaper. So, and we determined this was better than the original Bel Air because of the stock thickness and length of what you were getting Magnacut. Well, this one we measured was 0.110, but it maintains its 0.110 out to mid blade. And in the other video, when we measured, so you start your full flat grind here, by the time you got out here, it was 0.105. So as far as amount of Magnacut you're getting both of these are a great blade shape. I actually love this blade shape. I really like that. And Wharncliffe, almost Wharncliffe. There's a little bit of a curve, but this is pretty much Wharncliffe. You're getting the same amount of Magnacut and pivot to pivot. You can see pretty close equivalent. What about materials? G10 is very strong. Aluminum is very strong. Here you're getting two standoffs. Which one's stronger? Well, back spacers are stronger, but also heavier than standoffs. So strength, if I was going to say which one is the stronger handle, I'd probably say this one. But what about weight? Is that a differentiating factor? We got 4.7 here and 3.3 ounces even there, which is a nice lightweight. So that's probably one of the biggest differences is the weight. So 3 ounces compared to 4.7 ounces. Now there's individual preferences. Maybe you like a crossbar lock better, or maybe you like a liner lock, or maybe you don't like or do like assisted opening. So, but you can put those personal preferences aside, and what are you getting? Magnacut best value, you're getting pretty much equivalent blades of Magnacut, and you're getting an adequately strong, they're both adequately strong. The blade, either one of these handles are going to outlast the blade, and that's true of most good handles. Usually the handle is stronger than the blade. But which one's better value? $30 cheaper, equivalent blade, adequate handles, heavier, but stronger. So I think we've got a new winner here. So let's put it on top. Here's your new king. The best value USA-made Magnacut. And before I wrap the video up, I did want to mention some recent news about Magnacut. Good news. So a little history first. Crucible was the main company making Magnacut, and the inventor Laren Thomas had worked with them to develop the Magnacut formula as a new super steel blend. But then Crucible went out of business last year, was sold to Era Steel, ERA, Era Steel in France. Got the bought the company and the intellectual property, including the Magnacut blend, and then they've been licensing it out. But we're still getting Magnacut, and the big news that we were getting to is with the new Era Steel Magnacut, they've retested the properties, and it's actually testing at higher performance, especially in toughness. So Magnacut was already recognized as a super steel blend, good blend, very highly corrosion resistant, 9.5 out of 10, and very, very strong 7 out of 10. And then your edge retention, 5 out of 10. So a good blend across the categories. But now, registering the new one from Aerosteel, they're saying that the new factory is cleaner and has improved the process. And the same Magnacut powder blend, they're able to get higher toughness out of what they're doing now with Aerosteel. So the Magnacut rage isn't going to go away. It's not a fad. Magnacut is a super steel that has recently even gotten better. So Magnacut is legit. I know there's some other new steel blends coming soon, like Magnamax and I think another one. So we'll see what those do. But for now, Magnacut is one of the super steels, and it's a big deal to be the best value USA made, especially in the 250th anniversary of America this year. So be on the lookout for Made in the USA sales. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that this year, and a lot of emphasis on our big birthday, July 4th. 2026 250th year anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So we are in the year 250th anniversary, and being the top value USA Magnacut, one of the top best steels, is a big deal. And here it is, the Kershaw Link. So thanks for stopping by. Go check out a lot of other good videos at Skol EDC. One thing you'll find about my videos, or the thing that I'm trying to emphasize, is I do my homework. I bring you the info, and I like to go deep into topics. Check out that locks and different situation videos. It's over an hour long, but it's actually one of my most watched so far. So I'm still a pretty new channel. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more. And the thing about Skol EDC is I do my homework. And thanks for stopping by. And remember, always carry a knife.